My wife is a big fan. She has your products, and I was
she?
asking her last night, and she said something about the products being multi-use. Like
Yes,
you can,
very multi-purpose.
again, I don't particularly understand, but
Yep.
she said that was a massive
Yes.
USP for her.
It's
Plus
our
the love
biggest
of the
USP.
brand in general.
Oh, I'm so glad.
yeah.
That's so good to hear.
No, it's good. I think from a creative standpoint, I think the brand's I really love it.
Thank
like
you.
That.
It stands out
clean
in
and-
it's a makeup heavy country for such a small country, but I think we stand out in our aesthetic and our streamline of products. It's not busy, it's not overwhelming.
Yeah.
And that goes to say like that's not a problem at all.
Yeah.
But I think we know our customer is overwhelmed with choice
Yeah.
and overwhelmed with what there is out there, including myself, and I've been in this industry for so long. So
Elanna's done so well. You did all the branding, the look, the aesthetic, everything.
it's been
along
revised
with the product,
initially when
so-
we launched. Like
Yeah.
we were obviously just us, as in mostly just me. So
Yeah.
it was like Canva and like making it up. But now it's
Love
we have
Canva.
people. It's so good, and I think it goes to show you. And whenever we start, like anyone can do it. Like
Yeah.
you don't when you
don't say
overthink it.
I know.
Sorry, this is Paddy's like advice all the time.
The thing is, though, not anyone can. Elanna's very good at
Decision making.
well, yes, decision making,
Well,
but
that's
also
a very
home
positive-
decor.
Yes.
So when it comes to
Wasn't going that route.
so interior design, she can walk into a room and be like, move this here, do that. We need this. This has to go
I could do
here.
it.
You need a
this is the
dreamer.
colour
I could
scheme.
do
You need a dreamer and a
this set.
realist, and I think that's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Okay.
No, but if I walked into a room and there were no pictures on the wall, it was white.
Would that bother you?
I would be totally fine. I'd be like, yeah, it's a room. It's perfect.
Yeah, but your mom is a dreamer too. She can like. Make
but
it
what
come
I'm saying
alive.
is, you say anybody can do it. No, not anybody can do
Sorry,
it.
I'll preface. Anyone that has the vision or thinks, oh, but they already did it. There's so much room for everyone, and there's
Except
a
in the
customer
makeup
for
space.
everyone.
Makeup's saturated. Don't try it.
Yeah, just try Pearl.
100%. I agree. There obviously is the market for it there, but
yeah.
no, I think I think your brand's very strong. It would
Thank
be
you.
not that I'm into makeup, but it would be up my street. In
Do you
terms
know
of a
what?
brand.
We actually have a weirdly large feedback from our customers saying that when they wear Pearl, not only is it a brand that they come back to, but their husband or partner notices something's different about their makeup in
Interesting.
a positive way.
That's very good.
Markets we've been to, and
like,
they're like,
multiple responses being like, my husband like commented on my glowy skin. I'm like, oh, and I like
And he's
initially
never mentioned
never
makeup
mentioned makeup
before.
That's
before.
positive,
isn't it?
So we do get a lot of, which I think if you can. Word of mouth marketing is the best.
Best.
Literally the best. Like,
so we
the
need a
best.
tagline. to
we need
kind of
all
lean into
husbands. We
that.
need. I just thought of an idea.
What?
There you go.
And
That's
it's
what we're
all
here for.
men.
That's what we're
No
here for.
women in the
Creativity.
campaign.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one actually.
It's not rolling, right?
Are we rolling? We are. Yeah.
You're like sweet.
You're like clipping in your head for all the Instagram bits.
I like this stuff. I know I'd said for a while, I was like, I like this like natural bit at the start where you can just have a bit of a chat without it being too switched on. But we will start.
But we're switched on now.
We're switched on. Be serious and relaxed. You guys are used to the podcasting anyway.
I know. Well,
We're-
Declan, I'm, as much as I'm a dreamer, I'm also a realist because Paddy over here does not like anyone doing things for him.
I thought you were going to say he just doesn't like anyone.
Other than his family, I could make that joke.
We're not far from that.
But he does so much, and he was the one that proposed doing a podcast with me earlier last year, and so I came around to it. And he does all the audio editing, all the video editing, and I'm sure you guys know how much time and effort, and we don't have time.
So you do all that?
I do.
That's
He
your-
does, but I
brilliant.
said you have to pick one thing, and we drop video because ultimately, I have so many podcasts I listen to, and this is not like to go against what you do and we're doing right now.
It's okay.
But other than clips on
Not taking
social
it
media,
personally.
I'm not watching a podcast. I'm
Yeah.
listening to it primarily.
I
and
tend to
for
agree
our
with you, to be
time,
honest.
it's not worth
Yeah.
filming it on top of
But
listening.
the video aspect's really good for
Sorry,
short
yes.
form media.
It is
True.
very
So
important.
having wee snippets here and there.
We're also not doing a podcast for, I think we have like 5 viewers and they might be family members. So
Most of
I'm
our
going to subscribe after this.
yeah, most
And
of our
Declan.
podcasts
Yeah.
have been on our podcast.
Yes.
My mum was on it last week, so that's probably
was
I,
Big
I love
fan.
that. I think,
20%.
I think that's really fun.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very ad hoc. So it's called Making Up As You Go, and it
Yes.
fits that vibe where one week I'm sitting down with mum, kind of chatting through her childhood, and then the next week we're in Copenhagen, sitting in the bed, just
the
chatting
microphone.
through about coffee or.
I noticed you were in Copenhagen. I love Copenhagen.
Oh my!
Have you been?
goodness.
Yes, a few years
So
ago.
good.
But I actually made a point at the weekend of mentioning to my wife that I love like Scandinavian countries and I want to do a lot more of it. I don't
There
know
needs
how,
to be a
don't know
direct
how we're going to
flight
fit it in
from
but
Belfast. That's
Yeah.
how it would be more accessible, because
Yeah.
we did Belfast to London to Copenhagen, and it's
Okay.
always like a 3-hour layover, which is so much time. So ultimately drive to Dublin and just do the one
were you
flight.
able to use some Avios points though?
No, well, we
No.
went with.
Do
Well,
we?
we have American Express, which
Yeah.
are really good.
It's
But
handy,
we
like,
do.
it's the-
It was EasyJet and Ryanair, so
Yeah.
we couldn't even really.
I mean,
avail
any
of it.
traveling without children is a luxury, I will say.
Do you not find it very odd when you're there without the kids though? Like it's almost
No.
like you're missing something. No.
No, so I do think there's two types of, and I'll be probably corrected if this is a clip. There's two types of mums that go away from their kids. The ones that are like, I need the vacation, like I need to get out. And then within 24 hours, they're like, okay, I'm good. Get me back to my babies. And they're like sad. And then there's the ones that are like, I can't leave. This is really hard and really stressful. And then after a day, it's like, oh my goodness, I needed this. Like, I feel like a whole new person.
I feel like my wife Jenny is somewhere in between that she's like this, like she doesn't want to leave them.
Yeah.
And then
It's
when
the
she's
guilt.
away, she's like, oh yeah, like I'm enjoying it for a bit.
Yeah.
And then we'll start scrolling photos of the girls.
Oh,
And
I think every parent does that.
I just remember
We
they did
all
that.
do
That was
it.
so
The
lovely.
second dinner in, you're like, right, let's get photos.
I think the
Let's see how
guilt
things
is
are back
real
home.
for all moms more so than dads, I would say. But ultimately, like, especially when your kids are younger, they do not remember.
Yeah.
And I do think we're showing them a really healthy and positive example of nurturing a relationship of almost 10 years married while running a business, having 3 children, and still
Yeah.
really being in love with each other. I want that for them. So if I can demonstrate it by going on a little 48-hour trip, so be it.
100%. I think that's absolutely spot on. It was actually something I was going to ask you is about running the business together. What, not only running the business, but obviously being a couple. That vision for the kids, like what do you hope they take from what you guys are doing? Like that sort of example, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Well, I think
That.
ultimately is, the strength of our relationship. Because I think if we're strong together,
We're better parents.
we're better parents.
Yeah.
You're able to kind of overflow that love onto your kids, and you definitely have more patience. And not that you need to be away for 48 hours away from
You don't even
the
need to be
kids.
away, but you do need
No.
to nurture
Yeah.
your relationship.
Like date nights, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think
It's
is
not like
important.
it was you guys before they were
Absolutely.
here.
And I
Yeah.
get it. There's seasons. I'm not like diminishing that. And there's seasons where it is a lot more kid focused.
Yeah.
But if it starts to become the priority and the main focus past a certain season, I think it starts to create a separation, which isn't unhealthy and can maybe take longer to repair, or some people can't repair. So ultimately, like, I took a vow to be in this relationship through good and the bad. And I also choose to like love him every day. On days there's maybe easier
I was going to say we're still waiting for the bad, but
No, but we're also going back to your question of like, what are we demonstrating with these children? Ultimately, we're following our passion, more so mine and Paddy, like taking a risk, leaving a more like
established job.
established career, running a beauty brand, but also still nurturing our relationships with our family. I don't think sacrificing that is worth going really hard in business. I
Yeah.
know some people really go like intense with trying to make it work and putting everything into it. And I think that's okay if you still have a healthy balance at home, because ultimately, like, we just celebrated our oldest daughter's 8th birthday, and I don't remember moments when she was younger. Like, it was it's gone so fast, and time's a thief. And I'm like, what is purpose? Like, what's your meaning? Like, is my legacy Pearl, or is it my family and how I treated them and how I am with them and how I nurture them to continue? Because ultimately, my children are my legacy, not Pearl. Ultimately, I'd love Pearl to be a part of that with it. But I think it's giving perspective. Starting this after having children was a massive positive for us, for me.
Yeah. Take me back then to how you guys met. We'll take it right back before kids, before the business.
No.
Tell me that story.
No,
You're very
I
good
feel
at
like I
telling this
don't.
story.
I think there's people who are literal with their stories. Boring. I add like a little bit of like
Flourish.
Yeah, you need to. If you're a storyteller, you
Needs
have
to be
to add a
exciting.
little bit of something to it. I'll try and shorten it.
Here we go.
So, to be fair, I think we've known each other for 15 years.
we've known off each other for 15
Yes,
years.
so this actually started in Canada, of
Okay.
all places where I'm from. There's like a Camp America, if you will, called Muskoka Woods. One of the top people who run it is from Northern Ireland, so there's just a large influx of Northern Irish people that work there throughout the summer. You get a summer.
We probably
basically.
should plug it as well because it's
Oh,
incredible.
incredible!
It's so good. And I think from a Northern Irish point of view, being able to travel and have a familiarity, because there are a lot of
Northern Irish
guys
people
from
there.
here that do it.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It really is.
If you're
it's
in that, like, 14 to 18 years old,
Yeah.
go apply to work at
Yeah.
Muskoka Woods.
Oh, it's
Brilliant.
class.
Do it.
It is a Christian camp, but it doesn't necessarily
You don't need to be
a
to work
Christian.
there, but unreal.
yeah, it's
It's also not
great
a
for
camp. Like,
networking.
I taught spa. So it's like, it's
There's
legit. There's
cheerleading,
paintballing instructors.
ski.
There's
As in like
wakeboarding.
massage? kind
No,
of stuff?
sorry, not for kids. Oh my God.
I was like, what?
No, like nails, like
Oh, okay,
hair,
yeah, yeah.
like very.
My daughter
On
would love that.
brand.
Yes, very
For
on brand.
Elanna.
Yeah, very on brand.
But
That's where it
it's
began.
That's where it
there's a
started.
ropes course, like water slides. It's amazing.
Cool.
Classic.
So getting back to us, I worked there. We both worked there. I was in a different relationship, but we were in the same friend circle, so we knew of each other. I always thought he was so grumpy, like very like low, and I was very high personalities. There's a week at the end of the summer that they go all out for the senior high guests, where it's really animated, like really theme focused, and they did Marvel.
Avengers.
Avengers,
this year, yeah.
and Paddy was Loki,
Just-
and I was on hair and makeup for all the stars. So
for previous years. So this is back in the
this is
late
not the
2000s.
short version. I feel like I'm
It's
getting
fine.
even
It's fine.
longer.
We're here for the
just
detail.
just to paint a picture, for one of the games they had, so there's like camp-wide games, like capture the flag type games. They had an airplane, like a plane boat or whatever
Yeah.
they're called, crashed into the bay. And then it was lost, like the theme
They
was
take it
lost.
like it's
so they
so
had
good.
suitcases and clothes strewn across the beach.
Is this
and
Lost?
then
Is Lost theme?
and then
Yeah.
they had like camp counselors as actors coming through, and then they had
Yeah.
a big
Some production
skit.
value
No,
here?
it's truly like
Unbelievable. Like it's so
unforgettable.
hard to explain this, but like it's kind of, or they did a Slumdog Millionaire, so they pretty much recreated the slums and had like all these
They
cardboard,
do sets,
like it's just
everything.
insane.
Anyways,
Yeah,
getting back
sorry,
to us.
Sorry, that's a side
I
note.
had
all
done
about us.
his hair and makeup, and there's a picture of us again, not a couple, nothing, and so I'll have to send it to you.
I'm
to-
dressed
Yeah,
as
yeah.
Loki.
Just as Loki, so
Alana's
miserable.
doing my makeup.
So fast forward after, I was actually quite friendly with his younger brother and older sister who came one summer. So there was a relationship there. Paddy, again, just as much as you get to know another person. Break up with this guy, and I was like, okay, where do I go in the world that like I feel independent and I'm going somewhere, but also I'm not that independent and like risk taking. So I was like, oh, Northern Ireland. Like so many people I know are from there. So I booked flights without even asking if anyone was in the country. It was just, I was very heavy with hair and makeup, working for Anastasia Beverly Hills. And it was just 2 weeks that worked in my schedule in March. 12 years ago? 11 years ago.
11 years.
This was just like a holiday. It wasn't like I moved.
Literally, no, just like a holiday,
Okay.
a 2-week holiday that I had 2 weeks free. And I messaged Jess, his older sister, and I was like, so I'm coming. Like, can you sort me out kind of thing? And she was like, oh my goodness, yeah, you're actually here over like my wedding. And like, I was like,
Conveniently.
great, I'll do your hair and makeup. That works out. So they had a little apartment in Port Stewart at the time. She's like, we can put you there. That's great. That's all I had. Totally fine. So then coming up, I think the week before I left, she messaged me and she's like, oh, Paddy's actually going to be home. He's traveling Southeast Asia, but he's going to be back for
Should
the
I take over
wedding.
for this bit?
What?
Should I take over for this bit?
Sure. Go.
Okay.
Tap in.
Go.
So I had been working in Belfast as an engineer, and then I had applied for another job, but had this like kind of 9-month sabbatical. So decided I wanted to travel, wanted to kind of scratch an itch of playing rugby in New Zealand. So the first, I think, 3 months of the year, I went and did Southeast Asia. So I did Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and then I had to come back for my sister's wedding, which was where Elanna kind of tied in. So I I came back. It was prime Six Nations. I don't know if
Okay.
you remember 2015 Six Nations.
Was that? Did it go to the final day?
This was the final day,
Yeah, yeah.
where every single game, the trophy kind of moved to the
Yes,
next team.
I do remember
It was
that.
yeah. It's one that
Were Ireland at Murrayfield?
oh, good question.
Sorry, I'm
I think
throwing
they
that in the
were
mix.
because it was France, England, was the last game.
I have a random memory about being away somewhere with my wife. It's
Okay.
always around my birthday. So anyway,
Yeah.
you continue. But
Well,
yes.
it was
on your
my
birthday, which
right?
is St. Paddy's Day.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
And his dad's birthday too.
Great day.
Great day.
Big day in the McGowan household. So the rugby was on, and
I was
Elanna,
in there.
you were just you
No,
just
I
arrived.
had been there for like a couple days, but
Okay.
we were all over because it's their birthday. So
I just
Jane,
arrived.
if you know his mom, oh my goodness, like angel on earth, makes her little Victoria sponge and just coming in like singing happy. And I think it was like a really intense part. He's like, get out, get out. And I was like, oh my goodness, like who talks to their mom this way in front of like a guest, first of all? But I was like, oh, this is a.
But I had to preface that was the day.
Yeah.
So that was
was the reasoning
the
behind.
emotion.
Paddy
was-
has literally zero anger in him except for watching rugby. Like he scares us all when he watches rugby, let's just say. Anyway, so fast forward. I think it was a perfect mix of there was no preconceived ideas of anything. We had a baseline friendship, so it wasn't like starting from scratch. It was like, I'm here for 2 weeks. We'll just like hang out. Like it's great. And it was just like this perfect blend of everything where we were fully ourselves with each other for 2 weeks. And I was like, oh my goodness, there's something here. And I know it could be really great, but also it's another country. Like I live in Canada. Like I just came over for like a 2-week visit. And I was very much of the personality where if I liked someone, they would know by the end of the day and they would like me too. That was very much Elanna in her 20s. So I was like, nope. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to say a single thing. If this is meant to be, I will have a physical sign, something that I can hold that is, telling me that this is meant to be. Because, I mean, I would be moving countries, right? I didn't even think of Paddy moving to Canada. I just knew I would move here. Mm-hmm. And then 2 weeks go by. We're all flying out on the same day because Jess and Johnny are away anyways. His parents were going to visit his brother who is studying in the States for his master's. His brother was flying out. Paddy was flying to New Zealand for 4 months to play rugby, and I was flying back to Canada. So we're all in one hotel room. Talk about a
Cozy.
close family.
Yeah.
We all had different flights.
Yeah, different.
So it
I
didn't
was the
make sense
earliest
to
flight.
all get our
multiple
own
rooms.
rooms.
No,
So,
and I'd really gotten
Some
close to
days
his
11,
family
some
really
days at
quickly. I
1.
started in that Port Stewart apartment, and I ended up in the house like within 3 days because we all got on, which is lovely.
Yeah.
So I had the first flight out, nothing. There was nothing, and I was like, oh, maybe I should have said something. Like, am I walking away? I'm like, no, it's still the best 2 weeks of my life. Like, just leave it there, Elanna. So I go, I say goodbye, get on the flight, and I remember like putting away my stuff in like around my seat and checking my carry-on quickly, and I opened up a zipper, and there was an envelope, and in the envelope was a handwritten letter from Patrick, just telling me how it was the best 2 weeks of his life and all these lovely things. And I keep hitting this little plant, but I have the letter in my phone case of my phone, which I shouldn't do. I should probably keep it somewhere safer.
Yeah, that's
but
okay.
it was the sign I asked
That's
for,
lovely.
and I got it. And literally with that sign, came over in May because your cousin was getting married and you were the best man. And I moved over that September. We got engaged January 1st, married August and October, Canada, Northern Ireland. 10 years, 3 babies and a business, all from one letter.
Wow. Yeah. It's a great story.
I know. It's a
Love
slow
that.
start.
I
and
had to,
then
like,
the
quickly
10
read.
years is kind
No,
of...
that was I really enjoyed that. That could be like a movie. Yeah.
We have had people tell us
Yeah.
this.
Who would you have play you?
Interesting.
Oh. Who would you have play us?
I need to think about it.
Okay.
Maybe have an answer by the end.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Jason Statham, you said?
He's so short.
I'll take it.
Colin Farrell.
No, you need Loki. Who's that guy?
Oh, Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
He's
Dressed
too
as
much
Loki
hair.
or not?
No. Yes,
Possibly.
we need full character.
I was thinking like a young Jennifer Aniston for you. Really?
It's the outfit.
Good.
It's the
I
outfit.
The
was-
hair, maybe.
When I was
Outfit,
at
yeah.
uni, I always said to my friends, someday I'm going to marry a mix between Jessica Alba and Scarlett Johansson. And I would say you're kind of...
You did
a
all
good
right,
mix.
mate.
So, yeah.
I think
You did well.
Did all
I
right.
have. He has rose-colored glasses, but I'll take it.
No. That's a lovely story.
How'd you meet your wife?
Not as exciting as that. We'll not get into it. But there wasn't
No letters.
letters.
No letters or flights.
no letters or flights involved. So for you, it wasn't then. You were okay with moving. It wasn't
Absolutely.
like you weren't fixed to be
I-
at home and
Was already kind of in an entrepreneur situation. I was doing hair and makeup for weddings or events, and then I was the regional trainer in like Toronto GTA area for Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is quite a large brand. Mostly at the time it was brows. So I'd train all the Sephoras in the area of like the products and whatnot. So very much like a sporadic schedule, but like weekend heavy with work. And so I knew I could wrap up by end of August, September, and then kind of go because it had already been all pre-booked the year before, as that business does. So when I first moved over here, I got a job actually at Debenhams in the Urban Decay. I know it's not there anymore, but it was still aligned with like what I did. And I mean, you're moving countries. I don't know anyone. I have no contacts out here other than like family, but like my industry. Sorry, I should have also prefaced that January, right before I came here in March, I started YouTube.
Yes.
Which is probably the biggest point to
I was
mention prior
waiting
to
for
all of
that.
this. So, I mean, I was only like, 9 months into doing YouTube. I think I had like made it to maybe 15,000 subscribers, which is pretty big within
This
just
is
starting.
like makeup tutorials?
Makeup tutorials. Yeah, makeup tutorials. I think we started vlogs around that stage, but primarily tutorials. Very
Okay.
heavy on the tutorial. It was very much the right time to start. It was, what was that, 2015. So it was very YouTube heavy. I loved watching YouTube myself. And I was like, I could do that. Like, I was
Yeah.
never formally trained, but I was so passionate. I was very much that friend, family member that always was doing someone's hair and makeup. It was just very much me in my life. And so alongside working at Urban Decay, I was still doing YouTube videos, never had a paycheck, just loved it. 2 videos a week consistently, never missed a week. And it was just truly out of passion. But I do think passion and consistency mixed made it to be a job in the future. And that following year, so a year and a half after starting my YouTube channel, I was able to go full time with it with help with Paddy every so often, because 10 years ago and contracts and everything was such a different ballgame to what it is now. And I think you've had to get involved with like chasing up with some people and whatnot. But
Most of the time it's trying to clear memory on a laptop because it's like
so much
like 100
storage.
gig of storage for
Footage.
them.
At that stage,
Oh my
did
goodness.
you were doing all the filming and editing yourself,
Everything.
or
I
did you
still
help with
do.
that? Or
Oh, she still does.
Yeah.
Oh, she
do
won't let
all.
me near it.
I think that's also a little my branding. I don't think
Yeah.
I ever took. There was like within maybe 2 years of starting, there was a leap of people getting really cinematic with their filming, especially on YouTube. It was really getting elevated. Their partner was getting involved and doing all the filming. And I loved watching it, but it just wasn't me. I feel like I really had branded myself as like the girl next door, just
Yeah.
giving tips, like authentic advice off of what I like. And I think that just translated the best for me, and it was organic, and it kind of has stood the test of time over the years.
it's interesting, isn't it? The balance I think you have to find sometimes, because I love professional stuff, cinematic.
Yes.
I love the look of that.
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes the audience doesn't appreciate that.
There's
as
an
much.
audience for everything, truly, and you kind of have to know your audience. If
Yeah,
you're just going off of what you want, and even with Pearl Beauty and makeup, I'm like, okay, this is what I think I would want in my routine, and ultimately, I am not buying the products constantly to keep the business alive. It's the
Yeah.
customers. So what do the customers want? What does your audience want? So it's a fine line of staying true to yourself and being authentic, but also like listening to feedback and really engaging with the people that are supporting you to do exactly what you love to do.
And with Pearl, the brand, then did it come out of a natural transition from you doing the YouTube and seeing a gap in the market, a mix of passion? How did that come about?
A little bit of all of those things. I always knew I didn't want to be the product forever, because I think with social media, YouTube, all of that, the individual is the product, like the selling point, like their opinion on things, how they, come across or how they're describing something, all of that, where I just knew I didn't want to do that forever. And I was like, what's sustainable to go the distance?
You always knew you wanted a business though.
Yeah.
So Elanna had the Pearl Beauty Instagram name
At
already
19 years
yeah,
old.
brilliant.
But it was a before
So-
and after page of doing like hair and makeup for like my roommates in college. So I had it.
So it was a good 10 years before we actually started
Yeah.
the brand. It was always kind of kept aside. It was like someday this is
I'll
going to be
use
our
that.
brand.
Yeah.
But we didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to 2 children and the pandemic. Fun time to be alive and start a business. We
Unbelievable.
didn't have Cosmoprof to go to, which is like the largest convention for beauty to find, manufacturers, like different places to like actually get products and samples started. We had none of that. So we were probably delayed in time with emails, because all their websites are very like is this a legit place? And they're all overseas. So it's not like you can just like get on a phone call if there's language barriers, all this. So that was the year I was pregnant with Oscar, had Oscar. And I remember Paddy was like, I was freshly like postpartum feeding him and like just like in the thick of it. And he was like, you have a call in 15 minutes with the manufacturer. I've emailed for the last 2 months. This is the thread. Here you go. And I was just like, what? I am not like signing as me. Like they think they've been talking to me for 2 months.
Catfished.
And
Yeah,
I'm
pretty
like, I
much.
don't know anything you've said. Like, I'm so out of touch right now. And I was I think we still say that was like the most angry I've ever been at you. Cause I was like, I don't know I felt so unprepared and like,
There's a
not
lot of
equipped.
silence, which is uncommon with Elanna. So I knew I was in trouble. But it all worked out.
And I mean, they're the top manufacturer.
They
We
are,
literally
yeah.
scored major with truly the top leading South Korean manufacturer for our cream products, which clearly it's shown through because we have such a high repurchase rate for all of our multi-purpose sticks, which is what we launched with. So going back
Jenny
to
likes
that original
multi-purpose.
question of did I see a gap in the market? I mean, makeup is makeup. There's so many different options out there. I saw a gap in the customer using the makeup. Whenever I was doing different people's hair and makeup, they would always be like, oh, I love it. I feel so beautiful. But you did it. Like, I couldn't do this. And I'm like, ooh, let's change that narrative. I want you to find confidence in your own application of makeup, however that may be. It might not be the way I do it, but find how you can do it to like the best of your ability where you find a little bit of confidence. Not that like wearing makeup equals confidence, but sometimes feeling a little bit more put together can help with that. And so with the brand, it's really just creating products that are simple, multi-purpose, quick every day, but do kind of give that person a slight bit more confidence
Yeah.
in their everyday, which I think has worked.
Yeah. One of the biggest feedbacks we get on the brand is I don't wear makeup, but I wear Pearl Beauty. So because it's very minimal,
Approachable.
yeah, it's easy and
They're very loyal to their colors already. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I wouldn't be able to be without Put Together. Girl Next Door is my absolute, like, I can't be without that, which is what I wanted. Because I think there's so much hype and newness and this and that where you can be a little magpie for something and get it. But if you don't use it, you're not going to repurchase it. So from a business perspective, it's not great to have one hit and then no rehits, you know? Like,
Totally.
You want
So
that.
see, when you started, what did you launch with? Like, what was the first product or the first range of products that went out there?
I was actually thinking of launching lipsticks first initially. And then I just felt like, okay, I know I can use a lipstick on obviously my lips, but I can put it on my cheeks. I know I can use it multiple ways. It's still a cream-based product. But I knew a customer wouldn't do that. They would still just put it on their lips. So it felt like a really dead-end first launch.
So sorry, you knew that from your background of
Yeah, and just knowing the everyday customer.
Yeah.
Because even with
because
like
like
my
that kind of
friends
blows
and
my
family.
mind. I'm like, lipstick, that'll be for your lips. Like, what? You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, my mom used
Obviously-
to always be like, oh, if you put a little bit on your cheeks, it's blush
Cool.
as well, which seems so simple to say, but
take these
it's
tips
also.
down.
So I was like, I need something. And multi-purpose sticks, I think, again, it was a perfect mix of timing. They weren't super, super massive on the market yet. Only select brands were doing it. I picked 4 colors that were incredibly universal and appropriate for every day and weren't intimidating. And
What
I
are
think
they?
The 4 colors.
Yeah.
It was Put Together, Girl Next Door, Real Depth, and Easygoing.
Elanna
Nice
does the
names.
naming.
All the naming, the name does kind of lend to the color weirdly. I
Yeah.
always come up with them when I go on a run. It's like where I get my clarity for like a good name. But still to this day, Put Together is a top SKU,
Brilliant.
like definite top 3 SKU.
And it was one of the first products then?
One of the
that was
very
launched?
first products.
Still there?
I think Girl Next Door was up there as well, but it's gotten kicked out by one of our latest launches there. So
Something borrowed. Might as well plug it.
And so then when, Paddy, did you come in to the business? Were you
Yeah,
there?
so
November 25th is when we launched.
yeah,
You were still with NIE.
2021. So I worked for NIE
Okay.
up until then.
You were still very a part of the whole
the process.
launch, the process,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
everything.
But I think going full time into a business, you kind of want to see that it has legs, and especially with the job I had, which was probably more of a career job,
Yeah.
you don't want to kind of throw all your eggs in one basket.
Suppose
So
as well, from a family perspective, you know,
exactly, yeah.
both of you, it's not really, yeah.
Let Elanna take the risk and I'll be at home
Exactly, yeah.
paying the bills.
So it was a busy year because essentially you're doing two jobs. You're trying to
Yeah,
establish, build, and run a business, and then
whilst being
whilst
dad and
whilst being a parent, and then an engineer on the other hand. So
yeah,
it was a lot of juggling, but I think some good advice. Elanna wouldn't ever say she didn't put me under pressure to leave my work. I think you always said you wanted me to make that choice myself.
I knew he would if I asked him.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I cannot ask him that because I would hate for him to feel like he's only doing it for me. And that's
Yeah.
not what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted him to do it because he saw potential, because he saw growth, because he thought, oh, I can add value to this for himself. Because ultimately, if he's unhappy, I'm living with him still. Do you know what I mean? He's the
Everybody's
one
unhappy.
person I trust the most, and I would love to.
yeah.
But if he doesn't want to do it, I'm not going to force him.
I love that you were obviously very open to that. It wasn't like
Yeah.
it was like, this is my brand, this is my thing. Whether, you know, if you wanted to naturally align and come on board, then you were
Yeah.
very open to that
And
process.
I do think within the business we have very much our
Separate
own lanes.
areas.
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to ask, what are those lanes? Explain those lanes to me.
Well,
Paddy's everything.
I do most of the modeling, showcasing. No, I don't.
I was
He's
nodding
very
away
much-
there, like, yeah, of course, yeah.
He's very much the CEO role, like he and more. To be fair, between the three of us, Bethany Chisholm, who also works for us, we're all we wear a lot of hats, let's just say, when it's a small business.
Of course.
Paddy is on emails. He's doing pick and pack at the moment. He kind of picks up where, you know, someone maybe is lacking. You're on with our manufacturers. You're doing all the accounts. You're doing a lot of different
The website,
emails
the
primarily.
emails.
Yeah,
Back of
emails.
house kind of.
Yeah,
Yes.
the
I
stuff.
mean, he does our emails
CFO,
too, our
CEO.
marketing
Yeah.
emails. He
Yeah.
does our emails twice a week, which have really progressed, you guys, because we went from red font, which was not in our brand kit, back to our brand kit. Where
Every so often we kind of.
I'm actually subscribed to the emails.
Oh, really?
Are
I
you? Okay,
purchased
well, Paddy
for
does
my wife at
those.
some
Oh,
stage,
very
so
good.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll be glad to know
Bethany-
what
I'll
you
give you a
send me
shout
those.
It is. Love Paddy.
Personalized shout out.
Bethany would, honestly, everyone needs a Bethany. She's like both of our right-hand woman. She does our marketing, our emails. She's literally, her
she doesn't do
turnaround
the
rate
emails.
is unreal. Like, we shot a bundle yesterday and she already had it fully in a folder, perfectly edited for us by end of day. And we're like, this is not normal. Like, you were so fast and just
But
amazing.
so
She does our
easy
social
to work
media.
with.
So easy to work with.
You know those people who give you more than you've ever asked, and you're constantly like.
And you also
surprised by it.
don't
You're
have
just
to
like, oh my
ask
goodness,
them.
this is
Like,
amazing.
she's already doing it because she knows what would be best.
So much initiative. It's incredible.
From a business point of view, or even a staff member point of view, like it's amazing to have something like that where it's like they
Absolutely.
over deliver.
Yeah.
You know what it
It's like,
is?
wow,
Oh.
that's
This is like my top tip for anyone in business. Do not hire off of a CV or credentials. If this is like more of a creative job or even any job, if that person is showing passion and has character and is open to learn, oh my goodness, that goes the distance, because Bethany was one of our first ever models. She wasn't involved in Pearl Beauty more than being a model, maybe doing some photos here and there, but she was so consistent with showing up, like, can I help? Can I do this? What can I do? That it was like a subliminal person in the back of my mind of like, this person would be so aligned with Pearl and she can see the vision and where we're going. And it was such a natural graduation like 2 years later. And now, honestly, she's so a part of the team. Like, it truly like feels like a trifecta. So everyone needs a Bethany, but she's not up for taking.
Everybody needs.
yeah. Oh, she's
their
yours.
own
Not
Bethany.
yet, their own
Yeah,
Bethany.
your own Bethany. That's great that you have her. I would totally agree with your point on CVs, though. I would say within our field, some of the best staff that we have encountered, if I read their CV, they may not have got the job. And actually going a bit more off the feel of the person or their background or
Character is massive.
character, how you get on with them and
Yeah.
what they're willing to do. It's
Yeah.
it's not the be all or end all as
Yeah.
maybe some schools or when you go to uni and stuff, it's kind of
know.
made out that
And
way.
it's changing
It's
so
so
quickly. I think even 10 years ago, it was so CV based. And I would say now and even over the next 10 years, it will be very different.
Thinking about our kids,
Yeah.
obviously we have an 8, a 5, and a
Almost 2 year old.
almost 2-year-old, so we're not anywhere near that stage yet,
yeah.
but just projecting and thinking about when they get to that point of what they're going to decide to do.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to guide them. And
We're
but,
still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that helps at this stage where you can help them lean into what they love and what they like. So like our eldest daughter, she loves being on the stage. She loves the dramatics. So we're going, right, well, let's
Just do
support her in that. Let's try and get her opportunities. She might, I don't know, it might run its course in a couple of years and she might choose something else. But as parents, I think our role is just to support them
Yeah.
and help them find their passions. And then through their passions, like Elanna did, they'll eventually find a career from that. So that maybe answers one of the earlier questions of what you want your kids to get out of what we do. But certainly, like leaning into their passions is a big one.
Supporting them.
Yeah,
100%. I think that's through some of these conversations that I've had, that seems to be a big theme, that as parents, we just want our kids to be happy, and whatever avenue that is. You know, I was probably going to ask, like, in terms of the business, would you love to see the kids involved in the business in the future?
Well, Josie already
I
would
know.
probably show signs of promise. The youngest, she's a year and a half. I had her up in our studio in Bushmills a couple of weeks ago.
She's
and
like testing every product,
genuinely,
putting on the lipstick.
she'll grab a brush, she'll grab a palette, and she'll know what to do with it. And people coming in are like, oh, she knows. I'm like, well, she's had enough watching her mum.
Yeah,
So
she's
the kids are
watching.
very aware of,
Yes.
you know, mum and dad have this business, and
Yes.
this is what they do.
I think they're starting to understand more now. I would say even a year ago, it was still like Oscar couldn't even say Pearl Beauty properly. Like, what was he saying? Prob.
I don't know.
Couldn't pronounce it. I think he was, I mean, he's 5. Like,
Yeah.
he's still so young. We're Olive's starting to get it. I've brought her to some photo shoots. I mean, I'm always developing products and trying to get her involved into like, this is what I'm doing. I'm looking for this consistency, color, tone, you know, all the different ingredients. And one of our launches last year was our On the Glow oil infused lip glosses, and there was 2 colors, and I named them after both of my girls' middle names. So I think that was like a little like
Lovely.
moment for her where she was like, oh, okay,
This is my
like I get to be a part of this. And she came to the launch, and so she's definitely understanding it more.
Did she negotiate a commission?
Oh,
Not yet.
they get a
give
commission.
it time. Give it time.
Our time is their commission now.
Yeah. And how, obviously, with you both being involved in the business, family life, thank you very much for being here today, both of you. What does childcare look like, and that sort of balance with the kids?
That's definitely one we still like balance.
Yeah, we're very fortunate where we
Yeah.
have a strong family support around us.
Big community.
So going back to our trip to Copenhagen, like for 48 hours, Mum looked after Josie, and then my sister looked after the older 2. So
They go to
Rosie and
school together,
yeah,
so
they're all
it
going to
helped
school.
with
Makes
routine a
sense.
little bit. But
having
we are
that is
very
just,
lucky with that.
we're so fortunate. And I think we realize that too. Like we don't take it for granted. And then we also have Josie in childcare 2 days a week.
Yeah. So we still have her a couple days a week, which is so lovely because she's young. But it does still keep us grounded with time because we can't just like go hard on every single day. And even weekends, we're still managing with like markets or little times that we have to be in the shop. They're still moving. I feel like we're always working, but when the kids are there, we are still present with them as much as we can be, because we've probably dialed back in the last year because Josie was a little surprise addition of joy to our family,
A wonderful
which
surprise.
resets you a little bit naturally. But I do think it was another reminder of, okay, what is the whole purpose with this? What is the like perspective, right? And I think when she starts to go to big school, as in like P1, and there's more structure to the day, that's when we can really go hard with it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like growing sustainably and in a healthy manner is so important to us. Like,
I think you mentioned earlier about seasons, and I think it's important sometimes to zoom out and remember that there won't always be this phase where they're that
Yes.
small or not at school, and
Totally.
it could just be a year or 6 months, and,
And
then
don't
we
we
can
all-
push harder. Or
we all do it, even with comparison's the thief of joy, right? We all know that, and we all do it, and it's remembering, okay, what do we have? What would 5 years ago Elanna and Paddy like see now? Like, remember you're living in what you wanted. because we always are so forward focused on like, oh, what does the next 2, 5, 10? You don't know if you have tomorrow. Like, it sounds so cliche, but be thankful for everything in the day that you have, and don't worry about tomorrow. It's not there yet. Like, just focus on the day.
It's very true. We all get so, I
We
know
all
I
do
do.
it.
I get really caught up in it. I'm always forward thinking what's
Kids
next.
don't
and
care about that either. And these are times they really want to be around you as well. And I think we're so lucky that we have such a close-knit family, and I'm so fortunate for the help we have, but to nurture it to continue like that, where they actually like each other, not just because we're family, like they want to be with each other. I think Paddy's family really demonstrates that so well. So
But we love being able to spend so much time. And again, we're in such a fortunate position where we both work from home.
Yeah.
We're both
Pick up
probably
and drop
flexible. You know, even whenever you have Josie for the day, you can always pick the laptop up once everyone's in bed and catch up.
Yeah.
So we're so flexible in our work schedules, and that provides us so much opportunity to be able to spend time. And I know, like, even when I was working in NIE, I was doing, 2-hour commute a day. You're in the office 8 to 5. Like, it's pretty structured, and you don't have the flexibility. You have set hours or set days off, so you have to be a bit more
it's less
planned.
work, but more time consuming.
Yeah.
In a way, because with owning your own business, you're always working. Mentally, I'm like, okay, even after this, I'm like, what am I going to answer on my emails on my way home? Like, I'm always thinking of the next thing work-wise, but I'm able to be around the people I love more on my own time.
There's the trade-offs, right?
There is, yeah.
Every job.
You leave that maybe secure job that, had a longevity to it, or a more guaranteed longevity, but you get to do the pickups and the drop-offs
And I
spend this time.
still appreciate that every time I
You
do
do.
pick up and drop off. Because I remember there was a point when I was in the office, and I think Ola was really young, so she wasn't at school age. And I was trying to figure out, because I worked in Belfast and we had an office in Ballymena, I was like, right, well, if I somehow managed to move locations to the Ballymena office, might be able to, I might be able to do a drop off once a week or something like this here. And then having obviously COVID and working from home schedule probably helped with that. But to then now having our own business and being able to go, right, every day I get to do the school run, or, it's not every day, but I do it about 3 days a week. And it's just, it brings me so much joy. Like, we're walking in.
I feel like you don't hear
and
Dad saying
I know.
the school run brings you so much
It's
joy.
weird.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
weird. But, it could be pouring rain and the kids could be whining, but I'm like, I'm able to do this. This is
I
amazing.
hope it's something they remember, like that they had both parents like around for that.
Sometimes it's not even for them. It's
more for us.
for
It
us.
is. It is. Yeah.
It's crazy how something so little can do that for you. But I think it is trying to appreciate the small things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And knowing that possibly wasn't going to be an option for me just helped me realize that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's easy for, other people to look and be like, oh, well, you work for yourself, so of course you can do that. But there's the stresses they don't see of working for yourself and everything you have to
every job, every
negotiate.
person. That goes back to comparison.
Yeah.
It only takes away from you. Just don't worry about what other people do. Make
like
sure you're
that.
doing what you love.
as much as is possible. I totally agree. With them, we mentioned social media there and comparison. How do you balance social media and family and access and what you show and what you don't show? Because obviously it's a massive part of the business and your brand. How do you balance that, or what are your sort of thoughts
we were
around
talking
that?
about this the other day, where if I didn't have to be on social media for like Pearl, I probably wouldn't be, just with where it is nowadays. When it comes to the kids, they obviously don't have it. Like, I feel like saying not against having phones seems intense, but we're not letting them have a phone until maybe they go to big school and it's going to be like a Nokia pay as you go, like no data.
Yeah.
But I do think even the government's seeing the data of
there's
kids
that
with
under
phones.
16
yes,
stuff coming in,
which
isn't
I
there?
think it will be different by the time they do go to big school anyways. Just from what research is showing, it's not worth it. And I do think social media will be different in the next 10 years anyways. I think you start to look for things that you're not allowed. So there has to be some sort of balance, but at an appropriate age. Like, let them be kids. Let the innocence last. Like, why are we pushing this, like, quick growing up phase. I don't
I think
want
that's one of the
that.
things I've really taken on board as a parent, that like you realize that innocence, like once it goes,
Yeah.
and it's like how long, you want that to
Absolutely.
last.
I mean, I still, if I'm being totally transparent, would struggle with like, I've obviously shared my children throughout social media, like the whole journey, like birth videos on YouTube, all of this. I mean, they're involved in the content, but you don't know them. Like you wouldn't know who they are. They're not like
Yeah.
telling stories, and it's definitely not a child channel by any means at all.
Yeah.
They're in my life, so naturally they're just
It's
going to be in the
lifestyle. It's-
content. But you go back and forth with it, and I'm like, if you're going to look for a negative angle, that's in all areas, whether or not your child is on social media or not. Like, I think it's just I think Paddy mentioned, like, we would be Christians and personally, like, believe in praying over our children and protection in all that area. And I think that goes, again, if you have social media or you don't. It's, just something that we're very aware of. And I think our communities, as in our friends and our families, have similar views, which I think is helpful when you have like-minded people around you with their, when it comes to devices.
Yeah.
I guess
Another
if you-
way
100%.
we look at a lot of the content, especially with your YouTube content, it's almost like a diary entry for us.
Yeah.
So it's really enjoyable to go back and kind of see them at the different stages of life.
Yeah, totally.
And they
And-
love watching it too. Like
Yeah.
Oscar loves our wedding video. Oh my goodness. He cried at it.
But it's so nice to have these big markers in your life available to go back. I know
Yeah.
people probably have Google Photos and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I think just having the diary entries for me is amazing, and having the kids being able to see them. A lot of the time, the content is YouTube that the kids will be on as opposed
Yeah.
to Instagram,
Last
just
one
because I
would
think
be a photo here and there, but although we did do an ad together, which they do
did.
get paid for.
Was this the one yesterday? I think I
Yes.
saw. Yeah. it was
They
very nice.
directed it. They're like, "Can we do the magic thing?" And I was like, "Great, perfect."
Fleeces are class.
They loved it. It was done in like 6 minutes.
Brilliant.
Loved it all.
But it's
Like,
nice as
thrilling.
well, like
It
to get them
is.
involved
I
and
think
like
so.
enjoy that, and they understand
Again,
what mom
you
and
can
dad
compare
do.
on
and-
that, and as long as it's not hurting anyone and you feel
Yeah.
comfortable with it and you don't feel like it's a necessary aspect or you think you're better than because you don't put your children on,
Yeah.
I think it's your mindset around it, and ultimately, like, you're the parents, so
Exactly.
you make the decisions
There's
and
balance.
boundaries.
There's no blueprint. It's
No, there isn't.
Figuring it out.
We're all
together.
learning.
Yeah,
That's it.
It's
Yeah, but being able to
Learning
pass
as we go.
on, making up as we go.
Making up as you go. Sorry.
making up as we go. Where's the
Both those things are true. Both those things are
Yeah,
true.
but being able to share, again, going back to the passions, like, we're doing podcasting here, but I'd love to have the kids sit down and kind of create their own podcast,
Yeah.
or even with
Well,
the
for
videos
even-
and like there's wee templates and stuff that the kids can make their
Oscar
own
loves
movies and videos.
and like taking the iPad and making different
Yeah.
videos. So sorry, that's another point of even we don't know what jobs will be available when it comes the time, like what's available for them to work in. So having more opportunities, it might involve cameras
Yeah.
and mics
We-
and interaction.
We made a song for Olive's birthday, so Olive just turned 8 this past week, and we made an AI song for her.
Paddy makes an AI song for
Oh
everyone in the
my-
family for the
But
birthday.
it's so good.
So how do we go about making an AI song?
Well, there's loads of tools online.
Okay.
The one I use, I don't know why I'm plugging it, but it's Suno, S-U-N-O.
Okay.
And you can either get it to make lyrics, so you kind of give it prompts and tell it to create a song, or you can write the song yourself, and then it creates
A tune.
it
With like
creates
genre.
the full song. And I'm not talking this is AI song, like you would not be able to differentiate that between something that's on the top charts and this song. Like it's
really good.
ridiculous how
You
good
gonna
it is.
sing a bit for us, or
They're different every
I
time.
have it on my phone. I could play it, but it's so good, and then it's personal. So we had Olive's birthday song, and I didn't make it
He did.
emotional.
He
no,
made
I didn't
it,
try
like,
to make it
about-
emotional. Just like,
She was overcome with emotion, like crying through like
but like
smiles.
happy
like,
tears, just like
oh, it would have broke.
So
Like
did
we
it
all
ha-
started
it
crying.
had like little bits of information about
Oh
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
family.
it was all about all
yeah,
of it,
yeah.
like
Oh.
which like everyone loves affirmation, right? Like
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
all looking to be
beautiful.
affirmed in life. So I think she was just taken aback that it was a song for her. And,
Aw.
it was so precious.
it was so nice.
That's
so
lovely.
yeah, Sorry, that was
Those
just a wee
sorts of
sidebar.
like memories will be lovely. You know, like say
Oh,
way
my
in the
goodness.
future, like when she's getting married or something. You
Yeah.
know,
I
like
know.
get that song back out.
Well, that's it. But
You can
I don't
play it.
know.
Our 8th birthday
They'll be
song.
creating. We could probably create an AI podcast now with
I
how
know.
things are going. Like it's just
Yeah.
Gotta
who
go with
knows.
the times a wee bit.
This time next year, we'll see where we're at.
Does any of that come into play in terms of the business AI
Yeah.
and how that
Oh,
can
yeah.
be
So
used
So helpful.
Yeah.
in terms of like research or anything
Little
further
bit of
than that? Or
everything.
It kind of it definitely has.
You and Bethany would use it more than I would.
In
I
the
think 'cause
past
I'm
year, we've-
physically playing
we've
with the
used it a lot more.
product. AI can't make the
Yeah.
product for me
yeah,
or decipher like the formula, the color, the packaging. Probably could, but it can't right now.
yeah,
But you and Bethany with marketing, emails.
Yeah. As a
everything.
small team, AI is
So helpful.
massive. So you can, as Elanna said, you can use it in a lot of aspects. Marketing's big, and it's sometimes you don't even realize you're using AI. So Meta, they've integrated AI into how you set up ads on their platform, and that might be a case of determining who they show the ads to based on their profile. So you don't need to kind of
Target it.
You don't need to profile people anymore.
yeah,
It's become a bit more of an art form in the past few years. So AI coming in has probably made it a lot more simpler.
yeah.
When it comes to finance, when it comes to even the website, how you deal with customers, like there's so much.
You
that
probably
can
don't know
use
who
AI.
you're like talking to half the time
I
with
know.
like customer service. It's
Yeah.
probably 90% AI.
Yeah.
We haven't implemented that yet, but
No,
it's
it's
something
still
I want
Paddy.
to. It's still me.
Patty's our
unfortunately.
AI.
You probably
So
tell
be
from
kind in your emails.
it's mostly the spelling mistakes that give it away. Probably.
In terms of the business, is it online? Do you have a physical shop, or is
We're
how does it work at the
primarily
minute?
e-commerce,
Yep.
but we have a couple locations, which would probably be better listed on the screen because it will take a little bit
Okay.
of a time. But
Do you have your own shop unit? or
yes,
something?
we're
yeah?
in Bush
Yep.
Mills.
Very good.
It's called the designer is the front end, but it's called the Courthouse. It's been kind of redesigned and remade over the last couple of years, but it opened last November, so just a year and a half at this point, so still pretty new. A lot of creative businesses in there, but that's where if you are close by, you can pick and pack, or sorry, click and collect.
Click and collect.
come
And then
back.
we're stocked in a few places. Like we're in Born and Bred in Belfast.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a couple of studios that we have.
Millie's
stocked in
down
as well.
south in
Millie's down
Kildare
south,
Village.
yeah.
Brilliant.
But predominantly online. So pearlbeautycosmetics.com is our website.
Yeah. The future obviously isn't guaranteed, as we've discussed, but if we're zooming 5 years out, what is the plan for the brand? What's the direction? Anything we can talk about? Products or locations, or what's the moves?
I think Patty would like to be in more locations.
I think
would.
physically,
Yeah.
I'd love to be more available. Makeup is one of those things
People
that
still want to
people
see
want
it.
to feel. So our demographic, there's a large proportion that will be, how do you say this kindly, like a mature audience.
Like 60 plus.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of them coming from, I guess, a more retail era,
Orientated, yeah.
they want to see something physically, whereas,
But I
Gen
would
Z
even
and
argue
millennials
like
are happy online.
girls in their 30s and younger have come up at markets and have seen our ads everywhere, but they haven't purchased because they haven't seen the product in real life. So they follow the brand or they're seeing the product or the ads, but they haven't taken the plunge yet because they haven't physically touched it or played with it. So I do think there's still importance with that to
Yeah.
some extent. I think COVID kind of put a little stop on that, but it's coming back for sure.
I was going to say, I do find now, whether it's retail, hospitality, or perhaps in the beauty area, that more and more consumers are looking for experiences. They do want to go back to
Especially-
the high street and
Yeah.
come in and feel the clothes, see the product, and probably actually engage with
The
people.
customer,
Yeah,
Yes,
like
I
they
think
want to,
so.
instead of, like anybody can jump on the computer and just order stuff. So I do think there is a
Absolutely.
desire for a bit more experience.
Yeah,
I think
I would
there's
agree.
there's maybe more of a trust in that. Like authenticity is one thing, but trust is huge as well. I think Elanna did really well building a brand off trust. So like her
Yeah.
YouTube, like she grew so well because people trusted her and her opinion and her impression of makeup and how to do it and all that there. And I think it's just fed into Pearl Beauty too, where
Yeah.
people trust the brand and people know that the products they're going to get are of a certain quality and they're going to be,
Yeah.
good performance pieces as well. So I think for us, one of the big things we probably need to do better in the next 5 years is telling our story.
Yeah.
In a tangible way where people can understand that, you know, we've been on this journey up to now, and they can rely and trust us in what we're saying.
That love story is going to be a movie. So
Well, that's true, yeah.
be
Just
perfect.
have product placement the whole way through.
Absolutely. Just,
That's
just
the best way to do
zoom
it.
back.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
AI to do that.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you find with it being heavily founder-led that do people expect or want to see you at these experiences and markets or in the shop? Like
Yeah.
people like to speak with you more?
I think yes and no. I think it has legs without me, hence why
Yes.
I made it Pearl Beauty, not L Pearls Beauty. I didn't want it to
Yeah.
just be attached to my name because I knew it would get to a level, hopefully, where people don't even know I exist. It's just the brand
Yeah.
that they love.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, a lot of brands need a focus for their story and their marketing,
Yeah.
and normally that's the founder's job.
Yeah.
And I think I took a backseat, and especially after I had Josie, I was just like, oh, like confidence was hit for sure. And I think I only last year I've really gained it back where I'm like, no, I'm owning this. This is what I've like we remortgaged our house to start Pearl. Do you know what I mean? Like this is something I'm so passionate about, and I truly don't think I could see myself doing anything else. Like I love our community. I love it all. So yes, when we go to, as in if I go to markets, I know people are coming to talk to me, and even the first couple of markets we ever did, which are so good in Northern Ireland, like every small business is there, big and small. I had a lineup of women doing their makeup because it was how I was applying it. Where now it's customers coming back up. It's not always a new customer, so they, you know, get the product a little bit more, but it's still the interaction. It's the same faces I'm seeing.
Yeah.
We do master classes, we do community meetups. We're really focusing on community over the next, you know, couple of years, especially with the advancements of AI. I think people want that in-person connection more so now than ever in all areas of life. So we're really honing in on that because the community is what has made Pearl, and we're really trying to honor that. So on that note, we do have an event.
Yes.
Is the 5th of April a Saturday or is it the 4th? Someone should fact check for me.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure, to be honest.
5th or 4th. It's a Saturday in April. There's a limited number of tickets to Nelly's studio, beautiful new Pilates studio in Belfast. And Pearl is there hosting it. 4th of
4th.
April.
Nice.
Get your tickets. I'll put a link.
Yes,
Put a link in the bio.
we'll have to get locations and links and all.
There's
we'll get it all
limited
in the
spots
bio.
available because you get a Pilates class included.
Oh, very good. Do you like a bit of Pilates?
I like mat Pilates. Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm not a reformer girl, but
No?
there's, I mean, something for everyone.
Paddy, have you tried it?
I have
No.
I've tried Pilates, not
Mat
reformers,
Pilates,
mat
yes.
Pilates. I think it's
Quite a few of the rugby boys have
so
done it,
hard.
apparently.
Yeah.
It is
I've tried the
so
reformer.
hard.
It's tricky for
It's
coordination
interesting.
and core.
Oh, core is yeah. It looks so easy, and
Yeah.
you think
It's not.
Oh, this no, not at all. No.
He's so tall too. It's like awkward
know.
with like
Like a big
placements.
giraffe.
Nice way to humble ourselves. Just go and give that a go.
We all need to be humbled, right?
Absolutely, every now and again.
Absolutely.
Right, we're going to do a wee bit of quick fire.
Okay.
Okay, so we can both answer. One Pearl product you can't live without. Maybe this is a Elanna question as opposed to.
I mean, you use the one brush to apply your sunscreen,
The kids
There we
as
go.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's brilliant for
That is a
applying
very
the kids'
handy tip.
sunscreen.
Yeah.
Genuinely,
especially with a bald head. Bald by
Yeah.
choice. Bald by choice.
we've had the spray aerosol with the kids, and it's like it's in my eye. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you have
yeah.
the cream one and our brush, then you can kind of just paint it on.
Perfect.
It is handy. It feels like I'm picking a favorite child, but
Would never do that.
our mascara.
Mascara.
It was a launch post, you know, a couple years of Pearl being alive that skyrocketed, and it's one that sells out. It's a top SKU. It was one that I brought the community on with the journey because I talked the talk about not finding a mascara that didn't transfer on me, and I just had this issue for years in the industry. And there was one mascara that worked for me, but it was close to 40 quid. So it's a higher price point, but I mean, I sold so many of those because truly it was one of the only mascaras that worked for me until I made my own. 18 months of development. I think Paddy's head was going crazy with how many times we got to like the final push line to say
We're
go
so
to the
close.
manufacturer, and I was like, it's just not right. I have to change one more thing, or we need a new thing, which worked in our benefit because it's a top 2 SKU still to this day, a year and a half later.
Brilliant.
So I would say our mascara.
And it's affordable. It's only
It's 15 quid.
pounds for a mascara.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds better than 40.
It does,
Doesn't
a little
it?
bit.
Yeah, we do that. Who takes longer to get ready?
So this is
Ball by
it.
Could be a
choice,
trick. That could be a
so-
trick
I
question.
start earlier, so I'm done on time. I'm
Oh,
very
nice.
much if you're 10 minutes early, you're late. Like, I love
Yeah.
being early. Paddy starts late because he's like, well, I don't take time. So naturally he runs over because he underestimates a couple things. He's also just so
Laid back.
relaxed where I'm like,
Yeah.
get in the car.
If you say I have to be somewhere for 10:30,
You're there for 10:30.
I'm aiming for 10:30, and most of the time I
In
miss
and
it.
around. I'm there at 10:15.
I like that. That's how you work, balance.
Balance.
Biggest disagreement in the business, if
my
there
goodness.
has been one.
That one.
But yeah,
Literally
that's
just
probably
that one email Skype.
Oh,
That
sorry,
phone
yeah,
call.
yeah.
And by the way, I did not take it because I was so rough looking and I had no knowledge of what I was supposed to say. And I was like, sorry, I'm not
We have to reschedule.
answering
Just
that
not
call.
happening.
I think I took
Yeah.
it the next day, but like I didn't
Fair.
take it. I did that. And that was what, 6 years ago?
Yeah, it's a funny dynamic with us where we can spend
All of
pretty
our time
much
together.
all our time every day and not get annoyed with each other. And we realize
It's not for everyone,
Yeah.
nor should it be.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
our dynamic and it works
yeah.
well for us.
So there's not necessarily a secret sauce for working together as a husband and wife. It's
I
just
think we're just very aware. We did this another Christian course, kind of a marriage course. Actually, you don't even need to be Christian.
It is a marriage
for it.
course.
It is a marriage course, and I highly recommend it. I would even recommend married couples to do it every 5 years because you kind of go through conversations that you wouldn't naturally have,
Yep.
and not that they're uncomfortable, but you actually say something that maybe you were subliminally thinking or whatnot, and they're
Just
all in
brings
different.
awareness probably
Yeah.
to underlying things.
And it's in like categories, and it's about 2 hours every week, so over 8 weeks. So like money, sex, family, all these different like categories, but hyper zoned in. And you have like why like you wouldn't do that normally on a date night because there's so many
No.
other things going on in life. And I think it's a natural reset of like maybe sharing things that have taken a backseat or whatnot. And I think that really helped us like learn each other's like working styles. I'm very much a deal with it head on and then like apologize later
She's
kind of thing.
a rhino,
Like,
and I'm a hedgehog.
yeah, it says you're either a rhino or a hedgehog. So rhinos obviously deal with situations head on,
And then they're over it,
and
'cause
then
it's dealt
truly
with.
over
Yeah,
it.
okay.
Where he's the
Whereas-
hedgehog.
doesn't linger.
No.
No,
Yeah,
I'm over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where Paddy would like wallow in it, slightly passive.
So I have the spikes up initially, and then
Yeah.
I'm kind of like processing it.
where I'm
Yeah.
over it.
She wants to
right?
deal with it.
So where he's bottled it up.
I
a
know.
wee
I sort
bit.
of. I'd probably be a bit more like Paddy, I think. But
Yes.
I'm big on this, like try and close the loops. So when there's
Yes.
like loops open, it's like that's causing stress or
Yes,
anxiety.
yes.
The faster we can close them,
Yes.
the better. But sometimes it's very difficult.
I think it's also articulating what's annoying you because Paddy
Yeah.
might think, oh, if I say it, it will upset her, which
Mm-hmm.
isn't true, but he's already put that situation in his head without
Yes.
telling me.
Assumption.
Communication.
Assumption,
Yeah.
communication. And I
It's
think
just going to. It probably boils
yes,
communication.
it
does,
really
yeah.
does. And I think now I'm like, okay, I know Paddy will take this a little more personally. So I almost
Yeah.
pre say it.
So
where I'm not
sensitive.
mad. I'm not annoyed.
I
I'm just
am.
letting you know I'm hungry or
Nothing
this.
wrong
So
with
like emotions, hormones, time, you know what I mean? Different
Yeah.
things where I'm better at prefacing maybe my mood swing so he doesn't take it personally.
Yeah.
And then vice versa, he doesn't.
I'm
hold
more of like an internal processor, so I probably take time to kind of figure things out.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm done, and then
Yeah.
I almost don't need to address it. Where I'm just like, I've either forgotten about it
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
just done with it, and
But we know that about each other.
yeah,
We're aware
I think
of it,
I
and
think
we
that's
communicate.
the best thing is
That's it, the awareness.
understanding how the other person deals with certain scenarios,
And not trying to change them, like trying to like, okay, how can I better myself with
Yeah.
them and vice versa,
Like
so
support.
that we can streamline.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, I was gonna add something to that. No, I can't think of what it was. I think I was thinking I was away for a night with my wife there on Sunday, and when you get that time on your own, it's like, where do you start? There's all this
know,
stuff
I
that we
know.
want to speak to each other about, and it's almost, or do we just relax, or actually would
Yeah.
it be beneficial to talk about all these things that we need
But
to sort out?
there's
or-
times that you do any of those. There's times where I'm like, I just want to read a book and like
Yeah,
not talk because we
Yeah.
are together so much. Like sometimes that's really important too, you know. Just
so I
each
sit
other's
and watch
company.
her read a book.
perfect.
He
No, here,
turns the page for me. Next.
if she's happy, if she's content, perfect.
We're not like that.
Let her relax. Your dream brand collaboration, if
Oh
one
my
exists.
goodness.
Quick fire, Elanna.
I know. I
Suppose that
probably-
could.
For
yeah.
me, I think somewhere like Space NK would be class. And I know that's maybe not a collaboration, that's more of like a retailer being stocked. But
Yeah, I
somewhere
think
like
they're
that
really
where,
well aligned with them.
yeah, somewhere where, because Sephora would be great too, but I think we've talked about how people can be overwhelmed, and our branding is very much trying to reduce that
Overwhelmed feeling.
Yeah, like
I think
choice.
there needs to be changes. I think sometimes when you go into Sephora, as a beauty like lover myself, I know where to go based off of like what I'm looking for. But the average consumer goes in being like, oh my goodness, okay, I would like a lip gloss. It's not all in one area. Every brand has a lip gloss. So how do I differentiate which lip gloss is for me? It can be confusing, where I think when you kind of curate a store based off of sections, I think that's a better approach for a customer who truly has no idea and just wants one thing, because it like lowers the chance of them just walking out because they're overwhelmed and going to Mac, where they feel safe because Mac's been around for ages. Everything's kind of in their areas. And I always said I would really love to have a Mac customer who is loyal to the day they die, and they just go back knowing they're an NC25. You know what I mean? Like they just know their color and everything. And
I suppose when you think about it, right, I'm struggling to find a specific example right now, but if you go into a supermarket, there'll be brands that have multiple different products.
Yes.
But it's not like the brand just has a section and it's like, that's all my products. It'll be, well, we have crisps, we have bread, we have whatever the thing might be, and they're all in their own individual sections. So that's an interesting
I think
logic.
South Korean beauty does that really well.
Okay.
We were actually listening to a podcast. One of the stores is called Olive Young, and they do that where they section off the store based off of category.
Yeah.
So you're going there, and then you can kind of see comparisons right in front of you rather than collecting a couple and being like, oh, I missed one that maybe was the winner.
Yeah.
So it kind of curates it. Not that I'm a buyer.
Do you think brands, I mean, you obviously own a brand, would brands be like fearful of that, to be like, oh, direct against my competitor for that product?
I think
or
you can't go into business like that because you will.
No,
have a
I agree.
competitor. I think, again, the product isn't always original. It's the story and the marketing and the person behind it.
You should
that
talk
people are
to some
buying
of
into.
the hospitality brands here or drinks companies, because they don't like competition.
They don't.
Oh,
So
really?
it's a no-no, where I actually think it's a very good thing.
It's a healthy thing.
Yeah.
You kind
Pushes
of
everybody on.
I
and-
think-
does. Yeah.
I would probably like to collab with another beauty brand. I think that kind of shows like, oh, they're not all in competition.
Yep.
I think there's something nice about that. I don't know which one in particular,
Yeah.
but I think that could be really cool.
Very
We
good.
also weren't invited to the Sephora opening, so we're still away. What? Was that not a thing?
No,
I'm
we
joking.
were. We were.
Was that not like a
we were in
trend
February.
recently?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a trend. But I mean, sure.
I wasn't. I'm happy enough. I'm good.
I should have given my invite to somebody.
You could have.
Could have.
What's your coffee orders?
Ooh,
I'm a cappuccino at the
you are a
moment.
cappuccino.
Yeah.
I'm an Americano with steamed milk.
Nice. No almond. No.
No, I
it's
did
more
go through an
expensive.
oat phase, but it spikes your sugar.
Yeah.
Don't need that.
We
don't
make
need
our own
that.
coffee at home as well.
Paddy
Yeah.
makes a really good coffee.
Did I see you posted recently about doing your own coffee or
Yeah,
like?
I got Paddy a new
again?
grinder for Christmas, and so
Nice.
it's elevated the experience for him.
DF54 is brilliant, yeah. But I think it was lockdown. We used to have an espresso machine.
And we thought it was class.
Yeah.
And it's class
Is
for
it
that
like?
moment.
Is it like the pods?
The
Yeah,
pods.
yeah.
And then when everything shut for whatever it was, I just remember craving a good coffee. I think it was
proper-
lost and found at the time. I was
Paddy's
just
a
like,
little
I just
bougie
want
with his coffee.
a
I'll
lost
take,
and found
I'll take
coffee.
any coffee.
I'm not. You think I'm bougie, but I'm not. Like I
We
have,
need to cut to you being like, I'm not eating in there.
like I have a cappuccino. You can't be a coffee purist
too
if
bougie
your
about
order is a
That's true.
cappuccino.
That's very true.
It's mostly milk. So
Fair. What is your kids' TV show guilty pleasure? So the show that you don't mind being on for the
Bluey.
kids.
I think every parent loves Bluey.
Bluey's
There's
solid.
like a life lesson where like we're crying in it. Like it is such a good
That-
show.
that episode
You don't
of-
need kids to watch that show.
The one about
The extended episode?
the
Oh
the
my
moving
goodness.
house one.
Oh.
Like
No.
yeah.
Brilliant.
Every time it's on, my wife Jenny leaves the room.
I
She's
can't-
just
I
like,
can't
But
watch
they
it either, yeah.
articulate it so
very, very
well. Like
powerful,
it's such
yeah.
a good show. They're really into what's it called?
Henry Danger.
Henry Danger. It's
Okay.
on Disney.
Don't know that one.
Nickelodeon. It's
Nickelodeon.
Netflix at the moment. It's got a
Like a superhero.
canned laughter as
Okay.
part of it, but it's very over the top. Yeah,
Disney
superhero
style,
one.
like
Disney style.
Wizards of Waverly Place, like that style where it's like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
set, same
Yeah.
characters, over dramatic,
It actually
corny,
is,
but they love it.
It's funny.
Oh gosh, here we go. He likes it.
It's not too bad in the back.
There are.
or
I
SpongeBob.
do
or
find
something
myself
like that.
just like, oh, actually, yeah.
I don't
Like,
mind SpongeBob. I do like
Well,
SpongeBob.
Alana took Olive to the cinema for her birthday. What was it?
Oh, Hoppers.
Hoppers.
Great movie.
Okay.
Pixar. It's like one of their like. I think they spent 6 years making it. Really good. I did hear myself laughing, as in I was the
heard
only
myself.
one laughing.
Wasn't canned laughter?
It was a certain kind of humor, or like I don't think the kids would have understood some things. Not in a
Yeah, yeah.
bad way. It wasn't bad humor, like
Yeah, yeah.
raunchy. It was like clever, silly things where an adult would understand.
I
it
think it's
more.
nice when they threw that in, like the sort of
Yeah.
like
Layers.
slight
Because they know what
adult-
parents go
yeah.
into the movie with
Yeah.
the kids, right?
It's like a
Really good
Shrek
movie.
level of
Yeah.
layered
Oh, loved Shrek
approach.
when it came out.
Oh, so
We
good.
went to see Zootropolis 2
Oh,
in the
brilliant.
cinema,
good
and
one.
I had to leave after 55 minutes because my youngest was just running about the
Not
place like
for
a
it.
nutcase.
It's a really good movie, though.
I was enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good.
And then someone said to me after, is that the same? So apparently in America, is it called Zootopia?
Zootopia, yes.
What's that
I
about?
don't
Why is-
know. We found that out too because our kids went through a big Zootropolis the first time
Yeah.
it came around.
It could be
And then
something like, you know, the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and
Yeah.
then Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
That's right.
So it might just be a prepreference. I don't know.
Yeah. I noticed that
thought
'cause I was
of
like,
that.
are these two different films? But yes, actually, I need to go back and visit that. Might
is
go,
good.
might go to the cinema on my own and watch it. Be a bit odd. Before we wrap up, I like to finish each episode with the same signature question. So if your children were to listen to this one day in the future, what would you want them to take away from who their parents are in this season of their life? We probably already discussed a couple of
Yeah.
bits,
I think
but
we have,
if you
yeah.
I
have
would
something you
hope
want to say.
they know us enough. But I don't know. The fact that they came out together, went out for lunch, got a coffee and
Yeah.
chatted on a podcast, like still doing stuff and really enjoying each other's company. I think that's something that's not as rare as it was, but I think there was definitely a generation where it was very much the mom was involved and the dad worked all day,
Yeah.
where I think having Paddy so involved in the day-to-day is such a privilege, whether or not they know that. I'm just, really grateful to be like raising our children together.
Yeah. I love the idea of them being able to hear our story as well, and having that overview of where we came from and where we are now, and hopefully at the stage that they're looking back, we're still as close in love.
I mean, we're still
sounds so
two
soppy, doesn't
kids.
it?
We were two kids, right?
Absolutely.
This is just our story, but
No, it's lovely. I think they'd be very proud of what you're building and who you are as parents. So, well done. And thank you very much for coming
you.
on today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Where can people find you and the products, or what do you want to follow?
Pearl Beauty
Website?
for social media, and then pearlbeautycosmetics.com for
Get the orders in.
For shopping,
any
yeah.
orders. Yeah.
And
And
Paddy,
then-
Paddy will email you.
Yeah, he will
Don't,
email
please.
you.
And then
But he'll sign it as me. Don't be fooled.
and then making up as we go
Yes, the
for
pod.
our podcast, and Elanna Paddy on YouTube,
Yes.
or L Pearls on Instagram.
Everything kind of
My goodness,
intertwines.
there's a
L
lot.
Pearls, Pearl Beauty, Elanna.
Yeah.
It will all show up.
We'll get it all linked in the description.
Perfect.
But guys, thank you so much for
Thank
taking the
you.
time today, and wishing you
brilliant.
every success in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Cheers.
Cheers.